All right, we are live. This is your host, Paul Gaither. This is NCAA 2014. The title of the video says it all. We are going to try to apply the real-life 2002 or the year 2000, depending on your perspective, because that's what the playbook shows both years, to NCAA 2014. And I've said it before. I'll say it in other videos. I'll say it again here. Why 2002? It's 2014. Like, Paul, come on. It's been 14 years or whatever. The 2000, because the book says 2000. The title's 2002, but the book says 2000. It's been 13 years because it's the 2013 season. Paul, it's been 13 years. Why are you applying the same defense from 13 years ago? Because it's the same coaching staff. I don't know about specifically the same defender or defensive coordinator, but it's literally the same school and it's the same coaching staff and it's the same idea. Obviously, Dan Hawkins moved on. But the people in the staff below, you can look it up, have pretty much followed the same trend. And their offensive coordinator, Peterson, he became the head coach. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? It works. So we're gonna go in here, and I don't care who the opponents are, but this is interesting. An 86 overall offense. Actually, I do care who the opponents are because we're also gonna work at what's the word I'm looking for? Sliders and everything. So we're actually going to take Oregon, who we played against in our last video, and they're a good foundational team to practice against. Team that we already have familiarity with, they're already working with. And I got my handy-dandy copybook out so that I can make the most use of the whole situation. So, if you are a viewer and you like what I'm doing, and you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do it. I don't like begging for likes and subscribes. You see that I don't do it, but you know what? Asking for it, it actually makes a difference. It's made a difference in my channel. You know, there's many things I've done it, but like, just simply liking the video does make a difference. It shows, literally, I like what I see, and then YouTube is like, we should show this to more people. We should get this in more people's newsfeed, and it kind of spirals, and it grows. So, it encourages me. Plus, I'm just talking while it's loading, if that makes any sense. So, it's already appreciated. In fact, I think I just saw my like total go from 1 to 0, which might have something to do with the fact that I'm begging for likes. I don't like begging for likes. But it's just something that people encourage me. So, back to the football. Okay? By formation. Okay? 4-2-5. They have the over. They have the under. They have the normal slide. They have Okies across, or just Okie across. And they've got regular ass normal. Okay? So, regular ass normal is what we're going to apply. And we're going to go through it with this handy dandy notebook. I have taken a page out of the notebook. I've titled it NCAA 2014 4-2-5 defense. And you know what? I'm going to try to take a little bit different approach here. And that different approach is this. I'm going to start labeling plays by their type and then putting the formation that they come in so that we can actually look at them. And the first thing that comes to my mind is zero defense. So I'm going to write cover 0. Let me grab the microphone in such a way so it doesn't mess things up. I'm writing cover 0. Just the number 0, not writing out Z-E-R-O. And then the very first play is bullets AA. I'm going to make a note that under 4-2-5 normal, we have ourselves bullets AA, which comes, actually that word bullets comes from the Boise State playbook. So it says bullets, B-U-L-L-E-T-S, DBL, capital D, lowercase b-L-A, and that's the cover 0. Denny says, let's go, Denny. I agree, sir. Cover 1, all this stuff, that's not cover 0. Here it is. Strong safety and Mike Blitz. Denny and everyone else, it's called Mike Blitz, and yet whenever we look at the Boise State playbook, they don't call that position the Mike. They call that position the Sam. So that's mislabeled, but it's interesting. Regardless, they have, it says SS Mike Dog. So let's go SS Mike Dog. That can be confusing if you're following the official terminology. All right? Then we've got smokes. Anyone got a smoke? Because Boise State's got smokes right here. Smokes. That's easy to write down. What kind of note do we want for that? That's basically, I'm going to put a parentheses, and then I'm going to put a capital D, lowercase bl for double SS blitz. Because bullets, we should know what bullets are. Like, in the actual playbook, why am I a nickel now? Normal. How about we bust out that playbook? Let's open it up. Open up here. Try to keep the microphone as close to my mouth as possible, but moving around. I've got the Boise State 4-2-5 defense opened up. Maximize the PDF. Readjust the vision so we can see it. Go to my sources. Go to video capture device. Move it down the list. Boise State playbook. We're not going to read the whole thing in super detail, but we are going to go section by section. We're not going to read all of this. No. But there is a section about terminology, right? And so this is how I'm going to have a different approach with my video. And what it takes to be so-and-so, defensive terminology. Here's the page, and it says, bullets, let's go. Sam and Mike Blitz, assigned gaps. Let's go. And then I'm going to scroll down. Let's get in the mind of a Greg Jennings. Okay, and then let's see if we can quickly find, yes or no, a bullets play. This might be it here. This is zero cop. Let's go. Zero cop. Let's go. Take a mental note of that. We've got the little bullet here. We've got everything else. Zero cop. Why do I bring that up? Because let's go back to the game, bro. And I do see the comment there. I'm not going to ignore it. We're going to jump ahead just a moment here. In this, look what you see. Thunder Zero Cop. Let's go. They're using the terminology from the real playbook in the game. Okay, we're going to go back to normal. We've got bullets as mentioned. Mike Dog is mentioned. Smokes is mentioned. Then they've got FS Blitz, which is the Freak Blitz. And then back to double bullets A. So I'm going to write down FS Blitz, and then I'm going to title it Freak, and then I'm going to show you in the comment. I'm going to show you where that comes from, and then I'm going to read the comment, bro. So let's write it down. FS Blitz. Sorry if my voice isn't completely clear. I'm a little bit away from the microphone. Let's see if we can make that any better. I'm going to put parentheses, Freak, close parentheses, go to my computer here, go back here, scroll all the way, not all the way back up, but enough, back to terminology, and in terminology, we're here, and it says flip, blah, 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 flow away, blah, 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 freak. Freak is a free safety blitz, not zone or anything. It is a free safety blitz. So let's go. All right, I promised I'd read the comments. Not ignoring them. Just got a lot to do. All right, it says, Smokes on third and short, half run blitz, half overload blitz against the deep pass. You know what, Denny? I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm going to say this about overload blitz. The way overload blitz to me is described is, hence the name in overload, is you're trying to overload one side or the other. This is a completely balanced blitz. You've got the two defensive linemen to one side, two defensive linemen to the other side. You've got the safeties basically coming off as like outside linebackers of sorts, or an outside linebacker and a safety of sorts. It's a completely balanced blitz. An overload blitz is closer to this free safety blitz, where we've got a guy going up the middle at the center. You could have the two defensive tackles going at the guards. You've got the two defensive ends going at the offensive tackles, but you're overloading one side because, again, let's go free safety blitz. Let's go formation. Let's go something kind of empty looking. Do they have anything empty looking? Gun, ace, normal, anything like this. This is fine. Tight flex. And let's do something as simple as mesh. And there you go. Now, I don't care that it's a touchdown. We're just going to talk about the words overload. Denny, I know you know what it means, but remember, we're talking to the entire audience here. What's going on? Well, we can see the center, everyone else, like, they've got this. But look here. We've got two offensive blockers. We got three blitzers coming. Like, you can basically say center or guard, 70, whoever, taking care of this free safety blitz. But the fact is everyone is occupied here, right? 2 pass rushers, a third, 3 offensive linemen, but we're sending 3 against 2. Now, a true overload isn't going to just send like +1, like overload is in like, oh, we're going to send 6 against 5. I know you know that, Denny. But the first step of the whole thing of overload is to understand that you're just literally overloading one side. Do we actually have a true overload? Rover 2 dogs can be. You're sending 5, but you're really sending them in an overload side. So let's again call the same exact play or whatever with mesh. And now we've got a few problems. We've got a little bit of an awareness problem that we've proven in Madden before. And we can actually look at that, see what kind of awareness rating they have. But this is a true overload. So we're sending 4, all 4 of these players here, against 3 linemen, right? It keeps snapping in a weird position. They basically have the center, the guard, and the tackle, and then 4 coming after them. Where on the other side, they've got 2 blockers, and we're only sending 1. So we're sending 1 against 2 and 4 against 3. And this is the problem with the EA Sports games, is their answer to the overload is literally have the guy slide all the way across the formation to pick it up. Now, I don't know if this is the old code that they put in for me for Madden 11 and NCAA 11, but there was supposed to be the thing where he couldn't cross the center, and he's not crossing the center, but they took that out in Madden. But I think what's really happening is he's just falling and tripping. And that's the problem. But the idea is that you shoot that gap. So this next time, I'm going to try to user control here and try to shoot the gap more naturally. Okay, so I'm wrong. He doesn't go across. He literally does cross the center and all that. But we can see, as a human, taking the proper angle here, is we've got the defensive end and all of these players accounted for, and then we don't fall down, and the tackle comes all the way across the formation. So this is a true overload blitz. We're just sending 5 against their 5, but we're sending it in such a way that we get a free rusher because we've overloaded, and the video game's answer is a garbage, not real life answer. So let's go back to the comments and check this out. It says, sorry, meant sending more blitzers than 5 takeover blockers. Yeah, that's what I figured what you meant, but I remember, Denny, I'm just trying to make sure that I address everyone who's watching, including later, and I super appreciate the comments. Keep bringing it. It says, if the tackles spread to pick up the blitzing slots, your chances of winning an interior block increases due to the extra space. Absolutely right, Denny. Absolutely right. Great observation. I appreciate the addition. So, let's take a look here. Let's go back to normal. And bullets AA, again, we're mugging the A-gaps. It's so important, class. And I'm sure Denny knows this. Like, you got to stop the run first. And the most important place to stop the run is in the A's, right? Now, here's the thing about the AA. I can go to by play type, and I can say inside run, and they're going to put all the tight ends up, and it's just their 7 guys against my 8 guys in the box. And normally, we have the Rip Liz combination. So let's set it up truly before we even look at that play. We're just going to call the Liz front, okay? And we're mugging, and we're fighting, and we're battling, and we're clogging. So, the Liz front here, we kick the line to the left by hitting right, because remember, TV faces like this. Defensive line, press to the right. But that's actually a Liz call, I'm sure Denny and others know, because we're sliding to the defense's perspective to the left. So we get a Liz call, the shade right here, the tight shade against the tackle, and then outside the guard, and this is heads up over the tight end, which it's a little bit outside heads up for the tight end, but I don't mind because they're in double tight end set. And then we called bullets double A gap blitz. Well, we already have 43 dealing with the A gap, though he could technically take another gap lane. The center is taking it on. Everyone's taking on the block. It's 5 versus 5 across the board, and we're 8 men in the box, so we've got the backside cutback. We basically have, the boot cutback reverse, the BCR, and that's exactly what he does. He's like trying to fill that cutback, right? So this is like a true run blitz, and to Denny's point, again, giving total credit to our team here. we're going to go back to here. Come on, let's go back to normal. The right thumbstick goes crazy in this video game for some reason. Is we're going to go smokes. Let's go have a smoke break, folks. Inside handoff, halfback dive, a Liz call. Kick the linebackers. They run it up the middle. And this is the weakness against the run, Denny. Now, I know it's just one play and it's not like a representation of the overall the whole thing. But by blitzing the outside as you do, is we already are supposed to have a BCR player that doesn't have to necessarily be a blitzer. And now, see, he's like a little bit in trouble because he's trying to pre-blitz and he's not actually reading or whatever. So that's an issue. There's no threat of one-on-ones, so they're actually allowed to double team here and then climb to a second level. So we've like punched the hole, and then there's the cutback, and now our guy is in a really weird position because he was supposed to be the BCR, the boot cutback reverse guy, and we're facing the cutback, and he's in a bad angle. And you know what the thing is? He actually has a pretty decent rating. We go back over here. He's not great. He's actually kind of a bad tackler. But you go in and you look at Ebo, and he has 84 awareness as a senior redshirt. So he's like in his 5th year in the organization. And his play recognition is a solid 82, which is just as good as our star player, the other safety. Right? So now we've got to like basically tell them to pinch down. Now there's our star safety. So instead of a Rip or a Liz, I need to go, and I don't care if the play was snapped. I'm going to go into my notes, and my notes told me what that was. That was just a pinch call, right? Rip, Liz, and pinch. So that way we're truly mugging the gaps, and we have a better lane for our BCR player. So backside cutback reverse player. Now we're not exactly mugging the A gaps, but we've brought everything inside. Because we're blitzing outside, we're basically sending 6. All 4 down linemen on the outside are aggressively attacking all edges here. And because he's also more inside, like he's got a little bit like more freedom to move here to follow and get taken out. Now here's another thing I want to talk about before we get completely off topic. Here, this is why this player might get pulled. I put him in. He did not have the starting job as the other strong safety. I put him in, and this is exactly a reason why he's probably going to get pulled, and I'm glad to get that on tape here. The reason is, I went in and I looked at our player. Ebo McKindy here, he's a 78 overall free safety. And I'm like, well, we play with double safeties, and he's already starting at this position, and he was a 78 overall. He loses 1 point because I moved him back over, and you see he has like 42 awareness when he shouldn't have 42 awareness. He should have 84 awareness. That's a whole other issue on the side. But I'm like, he's a senior. He's a red shirt. Like, it's literally his last chance to play. Like, we can't even red shirt him. Like, this is his last year to play. And then you start looking at him, and he's got 94 acceleration, 93 speed. He's like faster than our star player here. He's just as strong. He's got more acceleration, more agility. He nearly has as much awareness. Like, wow, look at him. He must be good. And I'm just going to go over here, and I'm going to say, like, oh, man, check this out. Look, he has 77 power moves. If he's going to pass rush off the edge, just like we saw, he's got some moves. Not some great moves, but some moves. He's not the best at block shedding. You know, the other 2 players are a little bit better. His pursuit's not the best. His play recognition is the same as our star player. He's got more man coverage than the guy who was starting before, and his zone coverage is in the 80s. I'm like, bro, like, this player looks like he's a good player. What's going... Oh, my God, he's got 67 tackle. He's got 56 hit power. He couldn't tackle me. I also say that, I mean, maybe that's not true. He's a Division I athlete or whatever, and I'm just an average Joe. But I was like an offensive and defensive lineman. I was a defensive tackle, center, all that. Like, I don't know if he could tackle me. You know, probably could. I'm just exaggerating. But you get the idea. It's like, oh, that's the problem. This running back only has 77 break tackle. Like, corners are the only ones that should have trouble against him, not a strong safety, let alone getting blown up like this, because also this running back also has more strength too, if I remember correctly. So that also tells me my sliders are doing a good job. Though I can do a little bit better in some areas. I don't know if the situation here with number 4, if he should have made that tackle or not. We can look at that in just a second, because I actually have that data. I wrote it down over here. Number 4 has 65 strength and 82 tackling. I would think I would want 84 to make that tackle more often than not. But the idea is this guy, he can't be in the box and be a tackler if he can't tackle. Right? Now, number 10 there, he has a much better tackle rating. I wrote it down. His tackle rating for number 10 is an 85. So he's like 8 points higher than the running back. So the fact that number 10 came in here like this, pursued the running back, there was a little bit of slowdown with the collision, came in and just wrapped the dude up, that makes sense. Now, we can also look here. Number 45, I wrote his information down prior to recording. Number 45 has 81 tackle. So I don't want him run over. I think we're going to go to our settings. As we see, guys that probably should be making the tackle aren't. And so we're probably going to click one extra tackling from 40 up to 45. That's probably all we need to do and adjust. I'm going to check out the comments right now. But you can see this little idea that's popped up and gotten a little distraction for me. So let's get back on topic as we call plays. And then it says, Denny made the comment, McKinda should be the deep safety, make the other two line safeties. I get that. Here's the issue. First, that's free safety. That's the position he technically was. I'll tell you that. He was a free safety, and he lost the starting job to Darian Thompson here. Well, okay, again, ignore the awareness thing, because we know the awareness should be 84. He's faster. He's just as strong. He has more agility, acceleration. We've already talked about the tackling thing. I'm sure you made that comment before you saw it. But the tackling's an 82. Here's the thing. I can't have my free safety miss tackles down the field. It just gives up touchdowns. He might as well be a traffic cone out there, right? And the hit power is just so much better, right? He doesn't, here's the issue, Denny and everyone, it's the power moves. He's supposed to be the pass rusher. He's supposed to be the guy that beats a tight end in pass blocking. He's the guy that beats the running back in pass blocking when he's a free rusher. The running back comes up and tries to chip him, and he just bulls the running back. The tight end tries to chip, and he just bulls the tight end backwards. Because let's take a look at Oregon State's tight ends. And if we say pass blocking, 73, 75, 70, if the game is just measuring, because this game doesn't have footwork and pass blocking strength, pass blocking footwork, they just have these core numbers. He's going to beat these guys, right? If we look at the same for running back, their pass block is 40. He's going to get the super win. He's going to literally truck these guys, run straight through them and get to the quarterback. He's going to get the super win animation, right? That's his point. He wants to be a box safety. That's the issue. The thing is okay, let's talk about the other aspect. Why is it also air quotes okay? Because let's go to the Oregon quarterback and let's go to break tackle of quarterbacks. 51, 56, 47. He's going to tackle corners. Okay? If you've got a wide receiver in a slot, he'll probably tackle Richard. He'll probably tackle these other players. He's going to struggle. Brandon Cooks, he's only 4 points. Yeah, 4.67 versus 71. He's 4 points less. So maybe he'll slow him down but not get blown up. He'll tackle the slot receiver. He'll tackle the quarterback. But he just can't be trusted to tackle a running back. That's it, but it matters. He can't be trusted, I don't think, to tackle tight ends. The starting tight end has 75 break tackle. The tight ends, if there's a post route, not a post, sorry, if there's a flag route to the corner of the end zone and he's dropping back in man coverage on a tight end catches that ball, stiff arms this dude, and then he's in the end zone. That's really the problem. So let's get some plays running. I'm going to read more comments, but let's just get some plays running in the background, our version of Subway Surfers, strong safety Mike Blitz, and let's do inside run, but not just an A-gap run. Let's do an interesting inside run, let's say, yeah, here we go, power O. They're in a 3x1 set, power O, and we can blitz to that same exact side, and we can watch some plays run through, regardless of what happens. I'm just going to tap L button and to the right and read some comments. Andre D says, did you take down the Boise State defensive playbook live from the other day? Answer, Andre, yes. My game kept crashing, and it was problematic. So, like, the end of the video is not the kind of quality that I wanted for a video, so I said I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to try to do a better version. Andre says, only got an hour into it, then came back and it was gone. Love your channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you, and I love having you and all of my viewers who like to comment and engage, and even those who lurk and don't comment. Just having everyone here is really appreciated. Michael says, it starts with a word. There's a G underneath. Guess. The word game starts a... It starts with a word it starts with word. There's a G underneath. Guess the word. Game starts a chain. Take a letter. Take a guess. Time the chain. Wins. Guys against. What, Michael? I don't get it at all. I don't get it, Michael. I feel dumb right now. Denny says, I figured I'd take my chance on the 67 tackle. Stands a better chance on a fatigued ball carrier. Makes sense. Can't have him fill a gap if he will consistently get blown up. But I understand what you're saying and agree. Yeah, Denny, I'm with you here. I think we're both with it together. As we watch those plays play out, let's go to the second layer of that conversation here. I just saw his interesting stats, and I said, I'm going to give this kid a shot. And here's that other issue. Taylor over here, a little bit slower. Not significantly. Not like game-breakingly slower. Not as much acceleration. He's a sophomore. He's got a chance to play and do something and improve. The awareness is definitely is significantly lower by 20 points. The tackle rating, though, is much more in line. Like, he can tackle this running back. I think the running back has 77 break tackle. He's got 75 tackle. And he's going to tackle Brandon Cooks. He's going to tackle, all these wide receivers. He can kind of try to tackle most running backs. He's just not going to tackle star running backs. He's not going to tackle Ohio State or Alabama running backs, right? But he's going to tackle a lot of backs, right? His hip power, he's actually going to try to bring some lumber to the people. Thing is, he's not going to pass rush at all. So we don't blitz with him. We just leave him some kind of coverage, a zone coverage, whatever. Because as we continue to look, he's got the block shedding. He's got a lot better block shedding. He can block shed tight ends and tackle backs. You can trust him in the box against the run game. He can pursue. His play recognition is also something that should go up with progression at the end of the year when he becomes a junior and then a senior. And his man coverage is not as good. His zone coverage isn't as good. But they're both really good starting numbers that I would think within 2 years would be better numbers than Ebo has now. Now, still, Ebo's the better player, or not the better player, but he's the senior player. It's his chance to play. I totally agree with the chance of giving the kids a chance to play. But if we go into our dynasty, I have him starting, you can see, as the number 2 safety. If he becomes a liability in the tackle game and Taylor needs to come in and make those tackles, it's going to happen, right? So the press isn't here. That's another thing. Ebo can press these slot wide receivers, right? Not so much here, right? And then where else was it? There was the play recognition. Yeah, we already said that. So yeah, Taylor is in position. And he's also 74 versus 78 with 2 years to progress. He's in a much better position to become a much better star in later years. With Jeremy having his junior and potentially senior year, if he doesn't declare for the draft, to become a 90-something safety. And Loeffler has a position to, get 6 points of overall or to become an 80, and then become an 88 as a senior, or whatever. He has a chance to grow as a player. It's Ebo's job to lose. And there's a lot of tight competition. Ebo can feel Taylor breathing down his neck. I think that's fair. And then Michael says it's a game show intro that I watched so much when I was younger. Never heard of it. Tell me what it is. And then he said Chain Reaction 1 versus 100 Idiot Test. Okay. Is that the name of the show? Chain Reaction? Not sure. If my viewers are recommending stuff, I will pay attention. You know that Denny and you, Michael, as well, can attest to that. I listen to you, and I apply things, and I apply your ideas. So if you got a recommendation for me, I'll be with it. Okay? So that's what I'm looking at the safety position. So now I've also said, part of the point of this video is I was trying to write down stuff in my copybook of cover zeros. And we got onto this very interesting conversation. And here they are. So that's in normal. Then we have over and under. In the over situation, we've got Thunder Cop 0. So I was just writing cover 0 in my copybook. Let me now move my microphone and everything. And now I'm going to write 425 over. So I'll leave a gap. I'll write the word over. I will click on this. And we'll make a bullet point. And we'll say Thunder 0 Cop. Thunder 0 Cop. Just like the Boise State playbook has. We scroll down. There's Wide Dog 0. We didn't have that as a name, though it still just looks like the safety blitz and it still looks like it's just Mike Dog, and this is called Wide Dog. So it's pretty much the same play. So I'll write Wide Dog. And then they have that number 0 again. They have Bullets AA again. Bullets. Capital D, lowercase b l a. What else do they have, if any? They also have smokes, so we can grab a pack of smokes here. We've got pinch blitz. That's special. Pinch blitz TZ. So those are two blitzes, the Thunder 0 Cop and the pinch blitz, that we did not have in the other formation. There's FS blitz, which I can make the little note that that's freak. So FS blitz bracket freak. Okay, and that's it. So let's check those comments in just a second. It says, still a deep safety room. Yeah, there's a lot of room in the deep safety room. Yeah, the safety room is deep. Blech, I can English. Good issue to have. Exactly. Boise State is like semi-famous for their secondary. Penn State is called linebacker U. I would argue, while not the best defensive school, there's a lot of NFL talent that's come out of Boise State, and that talent has often been secondary players. Was it Kyle Wilson? He was not like a famous NFL player, but he was like a first or second round corner drafted by the Jets. Played many years. Just a solid football player. Chris Carr, solid safety from the 90s. There's like player after player after player. No, Chris Carr wasn't in the 90s. He was the early 2000s. Like, he's in the PS2 video games. There's multiple players that Sandrick, I forget what the O stands for in his first name, Omar Sandrick or whatever. There's like several players that made the NFL from Boise State, and specifically in the secondary. And you can tell why, because they play this 4-2-5 defense where they're just filled with secondary players, right? Like, that's what they do. That's what they coach up. That's what the playbook was all about. If I'm just going to not read the book in detail right now, but we just go here, and we go here, and we go here, and it says what it takes to be a defensive back, personal and team goals, how do you measure up, what it is to be a Boise State defensive back, the expectations of safeties, so on and so forth. Like, every team makes a point of emphasis to teach all positions. But I would say even back then, before they necessarily had all the NFL talent, coach was putting an emphasis on the position and making it a POE, point of emphasis. So let's go back to the comments, and I take a chug of water, and nothing new yet. We go from over to under. So copybook time, leave a space, write the word under, grab myself a bullet point, and there's Mob 0 Cop. So we've had Thunder 0 Cop, and now we have Mob 0 Cop. So we're going to write M-O-B 0 C-O-P. What's the difference here? Well, there's some things I'm looking at. Free safety is in man coverage. The corners are in man coverage. That's 3 guys. There's a 4th guy in man coverage. If they're in a 2 running back set, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, I could see this play being called because you're going to have like man coverage where you're not covering the fullback. Let's go. They have no fullback. Yes, they do. They have I formation. And let's say quick slants. Yeah, the fullback is the one who's not being covered. Now, there's a whole secondary problem in the secondary of just getting burned in the pass game like that. But we can see there on the second play, upsetty spaghetti. Oh, this is another reason. Okay, it's not a tackle coming across the formation. I don't know what they're doing. See, they sent him they sent him in motion for some God knows what reason. But you're not covering the fullback, and it doesn't matter because he's not on a pass route. So you're just sending this upsetty spaghetti blitz, and you're just getting quick pressure on the quarterback. Okay, right? How about you don't send them like on that? Oh my God! Can you just not motion the tight end? That would be really great. Mob 0, normal. Maybe not call that play. Maybe call post flag, so it doesn't matter if it's a slant and he's coming across. Now we're not covering the running back, so you'd want to flip. I didn't flip in time. Maybe I did flip in time. Because, yeah, I think I did flip in time. Like, we checked, and by flipping, we were no longer covering the running back. But here, since we're no longer covering the fullback, if they slip him out on a pass route, we can get burned. So, they did, and we could have been burned if the quarterback identified that and just chucked it out to the uncovered player, which is why I don't like this. Because now you've got him all alone, Cook's blocking, and you could give up a touchdown to the frickin' fullback, bro. Especially here on a Texas route. Like, he can easily give up a touchdown. So, for me, this has to be like a rundown, and you're expecting play action, or not play action, you're expecting basically, yeah, a run play. I'm going to put a hashtag instead of a star. I keep the star for other reasons. I'm going to put a hashtag because it's only leaving 4 men in coverage. It's leaving an uncovered player. Okay? So after that, we have, again, bullets AA. This repeats itself, which is fine. Because you have different fronts, you still want the core plays. So bullets, capital D, lowercase b, L, capital A. All right. We have strong safety dogs, which is smoke blitz under a different name. SS dogs. Then we're going to put in brackets smoke. Close bracket. You can also look here at strong safety eagle zone. This could be a smoke zone. We could have smoke man and smoke zone. So that's a thing. Rover weak dog. We could also call that walk the dog. Rover. Also, Rover is like a nickname for a dog, right? But this Rover is like mobile or whatever, like we're roving, we're moving. But Rover weak dog, we call it walk the dog. I kind of like that. But let's call it ROVER, capital W, lowercase k, then capital D, dog. And then I'm going to make a brackets, walk the dog. The WK for walk. Instead of weak, we just say walk the dog. Let's walk the dog, boys. And then you've got Monster 3, which is walk the dog zone. Dog walk. You could say dog walk instead of walk the dog. You could save a syllable and all that. Crash gold. Is there crash silver as well? I know there's silver shoot pinch. I think gold and silver may make like an actual meaning to like which side of the field they're coming from. But it says crash gold, which is still that Sam Mike dog blitz. It's just got a different name. So in cover 0 for 425 normal, I can put in brackets Crash Gold. Which I'm going to. I just did. And then I forget, with over, did we have that combination? Was it Wide Dog 0, I think, and over? Wide Dog 0, yeah, was another gold rush. Wide Dog 0 can also be gold. So this safety and linebacker combo can be gold. We've got bullets, we've got gold, we've got different core names, right? So Rover Walk the Dog, Crash Gold, we just have Walk the Dog, and then that's it. This under Slide and Okia Cross, I'm like less interested. This just looks like a 4-3 defense with a corner up high. This one looks like a nickel defense, but you've got like 5 across on the line. This looks like a true nickel defenses, and I'm looking for more like in the box kind of like, not bare fronts, but this is for later. This is like true nickel and dime stuff instead of calling nickels and dimes, which is also the point of this Boise State playbook, is you're supposed to have this multiple front defense that can go against everything, and then you just have like an actual goal line or whatever, and you don't need true nickel and true dime because that's what these are for. You literally have so many members in the secondary. So we're not really looking for that right now. Checking the comments, nothing new right now. That was all cover 0. Now, it should be obvious, and I'm just going to put cover 1 as a new title. So of these 3 formations, there's a cover 1, and I don't see anything else that's cover 1. You notice what I also noticed? I see a freak blitz here, which is where? Here. This is a freak blitz, the free safety blitz. But I do not see a freak blitz in under. Mob Cop 0, bullets, smoke, walk the dog, gold. Yeah, there's no freak blitz there. That's interesting to note. So in terms of cover 1, they have like the literal like one high-low robber with the linebacker. Everything else are 3s and 2s and 0s, which makes sense because the Boise playbook didn't have a lot of 1s. And then in normal, they've got that same kind of cover 1. Everything else has like 3s and 0s, a little bit of 2s and 4s. And then in under, they have this same cover 1. And that's it. So we're going to put times 3 all fronts / variants. And on my copybook, I'm going to kind of create a second column here that I know is going to take up a lot of space, a middle column of sorts that I'm going to title cover 2. And you know what I'm going to start with is the normal front. Even though it's at the bottom, it's the normal front. And what I'm going to start with are the zones. Let's see, there's 2 man. So we're going to literally write 2 man. Then there's just cover 2. And I'm going to put in brackets hard. And I'm going to change that bullet point into a star because that's something that I save. This cover 2 that I save for that tight red zone kind of defense. I might come back to Rover 2 Dog in a moment, but any other 2s that we have, There's more zone blitzing and Crash 2 zone blitzing, but that's it. Okay. So, I'm going to put another star asterisk. I'm going to put Rover 2 dog. I'm going to put another asterisk and yet another because I see that there are at least 2 more variations of these blitzes. Not here, not here. There's just Zone Blitz and Crash 2. Let's call Crash 2. And then let's call Zone Blitz. Now, I've got those written down. Let's start watching them. And you're going to see, as I go to by play type, just some kind of standard pass. Let's just do something. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, we've got the 3 wide receivers, but we're in a 4-2-5, so it doesn't matter. And drop back, and they're going to go out here, and they're just going to catch it, and they're not going to gain a lot of yards because we're out in the flats. So, we've got DeMarcus Lawrence. He bails. Here's the thing. This is a kind of play that we want to call from the left hash where he doesn't have as far to go. So, let's go to spot ball. Oh, no, that's not spot ball. That is legitimately player lock. Okay, now can we say practice options, respot ball? Yes. And now we can say from like the 15-ish yard line, left hash. And now we can see DeMarcus Lawrence doesn't have as far to go. So now he can cover a little bit better, but they also have Brandon Cooks just pick up like 10 yards. And what I really like about this setup, this play, I mean, I don't like the lack of tackling, but what I like about that play is Lawrence doesn't have far to go. He's able to cover it and cut it off instead of it getting wide open. Here, we're blitzing from the boundary. We're getting exactly Mr. 77 power moves. Okay? And what's the problem? They're blocking with a guard. Right? When we talk about the overload or whatever, that's the problem. Right? So, we've got 3 blasting right here, and we're going after the edge. And you can see this how they're trying to overload this. They're like saying 77, look at number 8. Otherwise, here's 69 versus the defensive tackle. And oh, look, 77, you've got now 2 guys going after you, this safety, this linebacker, and you have 3 threats. You can't block all of them, and 2 are actively attacking you. And so the video game's answer is to have the guard go all the way across the formation to pick it up. What cheap, pathetic BS is that? That's one of the things that just kills the video game experience. You know, the realism. Like, make him throw hot, make him throw quick. And you're not going to get a wide open target if he's running towards the zone coverage and he has to throw hot because there's instant pressure coming after him. And here's the other thing. This running back is flaring out, but guess who has a leverage advantage? He's already lined up outside the running back. So in the time that it takes for the ball to be snapped and him to get out of his stance, he still has a leverage advantage over the running back and can actually run down with him and get to him. And if he played it a bit harder, if he shuffled more and actually attacked instead of this loafing kind of jog half run, he could have really crashed down and taken care of business and made them lose yards because they're making contact before the line of scrimmage and he's just poor at tackling this back. That's a bad angle. Let's look at the depth chart, number 48. Do I have to increase the tackle rating a little bit more? We'll find out. But let's go left end and Kyrie Marshall, and his tackle rating is 79 versus the back 77 break tackle. So you know what? I don't mind that breaking that tackle because we're just talking a difference of 2 points. By the way, Tyler Horn, that we've talked about earlier, is equal to the running back as well. So not so easy to break that tackle, right? So that's some stuff that I'm looking at in terms of these kinds of plays that I'm putting these little asterisks on. So why don't we take a look at a few more of them? We've got this Rover 2 dog, which is another look here, and the way that we're rolling the defenders. So let's go, again, some kind of standard pass. Verticals is too deep here. Bunch verticals, like we're happy with it, but we're not because we're at the 15-yard line, so we only have 25 yards of football field to work with. So some of these plays, not so good. Levels divide, not so good because you're threatening deep, but there's no deep to threaten. Halfback swing is a very good pass play in this red zone because the X receiver can run the front line of the end zone. The tight end can get crossed into the end zone. And then you've got 2 underneath hooking patterns that can catch the ball in zone and the running back flaring out. So halfback swing is a legitimate touchdown threatening shot. And there is the pressure sack that we wanted to get. So let's take a look at that pressure sack. And it's the overload here. And you know what happens? The tackle does 56. See how I was snapping from player to player? I was pushing right and it snapped to the left. 56 isn't coming all the way across the formation to like pick up everyone. He tries to at the last second. But that's the difference with some of these overloads. And it feels like the previous overload that we called. We can call it against the same play too and see if it's just a play issue. But I don't like it when they just drag all the way across. Right? So we got 3 of our 4 down linemen, but then we're replacing one who's dropping back with a blitzer here. And again, a true overload. But now, a true overload, because not only are we only sending 4, we're only sending 5, but we're truly overloading because they can't block with that tackle. Nor should you be able to. You're a tackle. You're in this position. You're like this. Boom. Hand in the dirt. You're like coaches making the call outs or whatever. You've got these defensive linemen. You've got all these threats. You're not thinking of the safety on the backside. You start to kick slide. You're looking. He's dropping back. You're looking, is 13 like coming? Is there a twist or a stunt or something? Is one of my teammates losing a block that I need to help out with? Yes, oh my god, 43 is getting it unblocked. I need to help out or something like that. Like you have something. He's dropping back. What if he's on a delay blitz and comes after us in another way? But you're not looking to slide across the formation and take out number 37, who is again our our strong safety redshirt senior. And from that perspective, the rest of the offensive line, it's like, okay, well, 50 just took care of the exchange, the center. 69 and 50 had the exchange, and they're covering up everyone, and you're just like, quarterback's blind side, let's get it. And he's like trying to throw that football out to the flats, and there's enough of a tackle for 37 to bring him down. And even if the quarterback wanted to throw that, our corner is passing it off and saying, I've got this flats. What do you even want to throw at this point? That's why this play can be really good if the game isn't cheesing you. Where is he going to go with the football? This is going to get picked off. Okay? You want to throw this corner route? Like, he's not open yet. The tight end isn't ready to get it. No one's ready to get the football. Dragging across here, maybe like a little hook curl, whatever. 48's right in the way. Like, right here, okay, you've got this backside curl. There's like a little press, and he's in the flats. He's ready to like jump this little curly route right here. He's literally trying to jump it. Look at that. Boom, he's trying to jump it to pick it. Like nothing looks good. He's pressed off of his route. He's not even close to ready to run the dig of the front line of the end zone, and you're already getting sacked. Now, I'm not saying it's the perfect play. Everyone, this is the perfect play. But I would say this is a damn good football play. Right? So, Rover 2 dog, I am going to put, what? Like, an exclamation point? 2, 3 exclamation points. On paper, This is a hell of a football play. Now remember, they're not blocking with extra players, but they would still have to burn a sixth player to stop this, right? Now, what was the play that we didn't like as much? It was just regular zone blitz that dropped everyone out like that, right? Because it's not an overload. It's kind of an overload in its own way, but let's go with that zone blitz. And was that the play we ran last time? I don't remember if it really was. Because there was another one. Zone blitz crash 2. Yeah, it was zone blitz. It was zone blitz, standard pass, halfback swing, the same kind of play. And yeah, they're pulling across. It's just really weird and wonky. Yeah, it's really wonky and pulling the guard. I'm going to cross it out. And I cross it out because even though I can't delete it from the playbook, I think there are custom playbooks, but since I can't really delete it from the default Boise State playbook, I can at least cross it out as something I'm not going to call. Right? Because I don't want this to happen. This is BS. Right? We should be getting pressure off the edge, off the blind side, and like causing problems for the quarterback, and we're not. So that's a problem. The other one was Crash 2. This one I feel is a play that has to be on the other hash mark. Let's test it, but I believe it's going to be right hash mark. So with Rover 2 dog, does it matter Rover 2 dog which hash mark we're at? It helps to be the weak side. We're going to say left hash. Okay, I've got that as a little note. And with Crash 2, I'm going to predict that we should really want it on the right hash. But we can take a look at the play. Everyone gets picked up, so it's not really an overload. The flat worked really well there, and we still ended up stopping the play. Here, we're sending all 4 against the offensive line, and we're not really confusing overloading them. We just got 3 versus 3 to the left side and 2 versus 2 on the right side, so it's just kind of dull. And now, let's call the same play, Crash 2. Let's go standard pass. Let's flip halfback swing. Let's go to practice options. Respot ball. Put it on the other side. And you're just trying to win some one-on-ones, I guess. And he popped number 1. So what is number 1's tackle rating? Well, I have it already written down in my prior notes. And those prior notes say number 1 is a cornerback with 67 tackle. So he's 10 points inferior than the running back who just got that football. And he got blasted. So I think my tackle slider is working pretty well, considering the fact there's a 10-point advantage towards breaking the tackle. And then it's number 4 that he had to run through and try to power through. Number 4 has 82 tackle versus 77. So there's a 5-point advantage here. But I wonder what the strength advantage is, but we have no slider for that. And while he got the ball closer to the end zone, he stepped out. Right? The ball's at the 1.5. It says like, oh, look, he slid forward. Except that didn't count. It's out of bounds. So he still got no meaningful positive yards from the point of contact. Right, so number 4 did a fine job of tackling here. So let's look at it. If we are in this narrow side, we've got 3 over 3, so we're not +1 like we like. We're 3 over 2, which is fine. But now we're kind of doubling this guy, so I don't like it. So maybe the right hash is not the deal. And I see a comment from Denny, which I'm going to check out in just a second. So let's go back to Crash 2. Let's go back to Standard Pass. Let's go back to Halfback Swing. And let's go back to respotting the ball. And left hash still looks like it's king. So let's adjust it. Let's place it. Let's pause it and read Denny's comment. Which says... Makes me wonder if lowering the blocking slider eliminated that super guard thing. Something to test offline. I forgot where we are in the sliders. I've changed a lot of sliders, Denny. Not a lot, but enough offline. Let's take a look at where we are, so you know, because that's a really good question. Let's go to settings. Some things that I've done. Some things I've completely left the same. Some things I've made adjustments for. First one is... Oh, it didn't save. Damn it, it didn't save? Oh, God, that's why... Oh, man. I did a lot of work and it didn't save. I know it didn't save because I got player threshold to 61 and loved it. Oh, God. Oh, God, that's a lot of lost work. I want to say 45 tackling was it. I want to say 60 rush defense was it. Maybe back to 55, but I think 60 rush defense was it. I was doing running. Run blocking. Fuck. I want to say 25 is where we were. And then for computer, run blocking, I believe, was also 25. I want to say tackling was down to 65. I want to say run defense was 95. Oh, God, that's a lot of difference. Running back ability was dead 50 even. And running back ability, I think I had just at dead 50 even. Like the running back ability of the reading, like play, what's the word I'm looking for? No, 55 is right. Was ball carrier vision and things like that. So my 77 ball carrier vision was still trash, but the guys with like 90 plus ball carrier vision were like running a little bit better. I want to say that was fine. I think 60 and 45. And I think somewhere around here was correct. So we needed to test some things out. I just want to show you what I was testing previously and get us back on track. So let's run this play and then we set it up and double check what I found and show you what I found. Yeah, this just doesn't look good. I mean, this looks like this is a specific play that can specifically stop this specific offensive play, right? Like it just happens to have a fullback or a running back going out to the flats, or we just happen to have some coverage, and then like it happens to have a guy in a zone that we just happen to have a hook to stop the hook that he's running, you know, and we just happen to have a yellow hook where he just happens to be running a hook, you know, and we just happen to be blitzing in such a way so that, you know, by the time he's ready to let go of the pass, this may or may not be able to jump this route, which it doesn't really. And you kind of have this where maybe he tries to jump it and intercept it or pull off. Whatever. Not a big fan of it. As I said, I now need to mess with the running game. I'll tell you what I was working on. Let's set it just here on the X. I know that's not where it was. Can you please just go to the X? There you go. Here's what I was doing. I went into over. I went to cover one. I went to runs, counters, and I was very specifically running halfback counter many times. He goes in motion. We do a rip call. Let's go. All right. So what are we looking at here? There's a lot of things to look at and a lot of things that I was looking at. First, the 61 speed threshold. This player has 88 speed versus the running back's 89 speed. And there are other times that he was able to go across the formation. But he is physically out of position. The running back has so much leverage to the sideline that it was hard for him to actually catch up and get there, even when he wasn't like blocked or whatever. And it wasn't until the running back started to get to the sideline and physically ran out of room and had to turn upfield so that there's no more left for him to go, and it lets the safety like boop, 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 and catch all the way up to the sideline, that the running back was getting tackled. Okay? So he could go out and hit the sidelines like that. And he starts turning upfield. It also had an impact on one of the other things I'm looking at. Why did I choose counter? I see a comment, and I'll tell you why I chose counter in a second. It says, maybe drop computer pass block to 55. Denny, if you remember the last game, they were so getting their asses kicked. So I'm willing to drop it a little bit, but I'm not going to drop it yet, because across the board, we look at the depth chart. If you recall, our defensive ends, and I already have it written down here in my notes, but I can show you. We're looking at just raw power and finesse moves. Like, our best ability was... Sorry, that's hit power. Sorry. Power and finesse moves. 71-68. 76-78. Like, these are sub 80 at left end. Right end, elite 97. 82. The backups, bleh. Defensive tackle, no finesse moves at all. 180, the rest in the 70s. So 1 at 80, 1 at 97, that's also talented in other areas, and everyone else is like 70s. And this is like nearly 60-something. The only thing that was good was Tyler is the pass rusher on the pass rushing downs to substitute him in, remember? And he's still 78. So left ends go up against right tackles and that sort of thing. So who's the right tackle that would even be up against Tyler or whatever? And we're going to go to pass block. Even Tyler is outmatched by 6 points and the other player by 13. We should get stonewalled. At left tackle, 89 is really good, but it's not 97 good. Right? So the problem was with Lawrence is he was sometimes using his like 82 power moves against an 89 pass block and losing. He wasn't consistently using his finesse moves. Though as a pass rusher, you have to mix it up and keep them honest. Then remember, we only had one player at 80 and everyone else was lower at pass rushing moves versus 88, 8-point advantage. 78, so if you're going against the center by kicking the line over, you're kind of better by 2 points at one player's position and the rest were still lower. And then if you flip, so you're going against the guard, you're like 1 point better. So you want to go against the right guard is the goal with number 43, which I believed I talked about in maybe one of the videos that I deleted. But you click defensive tackle flip by clicking left twice, left a few times, 5 times in total. That's 5. And then left 3 times, and then, sorry, that's defensive end. Defensive tackle flip, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 times. That way, we have 43 going up against their guard. So we have like a minor, tiny little advantage with number 43. And so on passing plays, we're going to see if Lawrence and 43, and especially 43, can kind of have a battle. But 90 and 48 should just get locked up like crazy. Okay? Then you made the comment, Denny says, maybe, yeah, that was the maybe drop. It says, maybe 61. If you liked the compression of the speed slider set at that level, maybe that's the sweet spot for other sliders. Just thinking out loud. If you mean the number 61, I don't know. I'm just like adjusting things based on what I see. And that gets us back to here. We're going to go again to under. No, we're going to start with over because it puts the safety in the bad position because we're going to line them up where a strong power run is and they're going to counter against us. And we're going to run counter and we're going to go here and we were going to look at the instant replay. And I said, one of the things that we're also looking at for run defense is how much our linebackers, to what extent our linebackers bite on counter action. So the ball is being snapped. The quarterback turns around, and we're both 13 and 45. Our linebackers shuffling. They're shuffling towards the open side. They shuffle. Now the ball is being handed off, and they're reacting to crash. If you are number 45, where is it? Is it snapped into place? Can we snap into place? There we are. Okay, zoom out, then zoom in like this. Then set it up so you're looking like this. And you're kind of looking at eye level. The ball is being snapped. There's big bodies in your way. And boom, you can't see the running back anymore. You can't see the running back anymore. And you're shuffling. Every day we shuffling. We're shuffling. We can't see anything. And yet we're still able to deduce the fact that we don't see a running back coming out the left side where we're physically looking. Look, our helmet's even looking there. The running back was going this way. We should see his jersey pop out this other side. We know that he isn't. He must be over here. Let's go get him. And we're getting popped and we're getting a tackle. And it's a bit clean. And we have a little bit of an angle. And when he's got the ball and we got the ball, we're dead even. So he shouldn't be like super beating us in terms of speed. And we're being pushed. And he also decided to go north and south instead of run away from us. If 24 just tries to hit the sideline, we don't have a chance. But he actually runs north and south into us instead of a better angle away from us to these sidelines and in the end zone, which I want to test in another team to see if a ball carrier with higher ball carrier vision will actually literally take the better angle towards the end zone. But he doesn't take the best angle and gets tackled, right? We can also see 45's tackle rating. I have that in my copybook. Number 45 is the outside linebacker, and his tackle rating is 81 versus a 77 break tackle that I already know. So that tackle's a nice clean tackle too. Okay. Is there another new comment? No, not yet. That's fine. So we looked at the range. Then we look at number 13 here. And again, we put our minds in the, or we put our what does it say? Like, let's get in the mind of a Greg Jennings, right? Let's get in the mind of this linebacker. Now he can see a little bit more, right? He sees him head up. He sees the action. Now with the guards pulling tell you there's something up. But are they trying to down block? Like, which one is pulling? Which one is down blocking? That can be an argument. Is like number 70 coming across to double team 90? Do we know for sure? But as it opens up and he does that little maneuver, we're like, okay, the other thing we have to do is we can't overcommit because we are not the BCR player. We're not the boot cutback reverse player, but we're like kind of the boot cutback reverse. We're a little bit of backside A gap. Like, we're not going here across the formation, and we're not actually asked to go over here and plug this. We're kind of trying to help plug this side in case he tries to cut back or just go north-south. And then the other aspect of the play design is your linebacker, he's like checking with his buddy. His helmet is aligned here. He's linebacker shifting. He's looking, and he's like, okay, I got to cut back right into, oh, God. Right? You're like, okay, let me just turn and, oh, God, there's number 10? Or who is this? Number 10 is right in our face. But don't with a block, and he's just driving us. Right? Like, in real time, you're like, boom, like, just popped in the face. Not ready. So he totally locks us up and blocks us up, right? Like, that's good play defense, or play design. On a higher run defense rating, they don't air quote bite as much and bite as fast on this counter run action. But the other aspect is going back to, no, I don't think I wrote this down in player ratings. Let's go to depth chart, and you can see middle linebacker and right outside linebacker. The awareness is 84. That's nice. The awareness, come on, I'm pulling the right trigger. The awareness is 78. But the play recognition, which is really important, is 74 and 88. So he's got a very solid play recognition. He should be recognizing the play a lot better than the outside linebacker, who, again, he slid over, saw someone wasn't there, and then slid back. I think that these are acceptable reactions of sub-90 play reactions. When I play with a higher run defense rating, like 70, 75 run defense instead of the 65 I think I'm at, they start reacting like NFL players or whatever, if that makes any sense. I can show it just for fun. But, yeah, no, maybe it's 65, somewhere in that range. Let's just show, like, 80 for fun. But drop back to 60. Let's go here. Let's go to over, cover 1, counter, like that. Watch those linebackers. They move, and then they just attack. A lot of players just attack. And there you go. There is your 61 threshold in action because of the player that made the tackle. Can you let me show the replay? Come on. So maybe we have to repick the play. But I saw them like super attacking the run. Like with great run pursuit. But now, see here, he's not getting caught up nearly as much. He gets caught up a little bit and slowed down. But he's got this angle, and he's able to break it down because he's only like 1 point of speed slower, and he's able to get there. But the rest of the players, okay, they got a little bit here, right? He gets picked up. He dies because he also has a low tackle rating, so I'm just getting back up and chasing him down. We'll see what ends up happening here. I can look at number 4 speed. Did I write 4's speed down? I don't think I did. Did I? Number 4. I did. 88 speed. Look where he's coming from across the field. Left side, backing up in case it's play action, recognizing it at this point, and now chasing them down to a point here where it makes sense. He has a good collision point. He's not getting outrun to the edge. I think 61 is like a really solid number there. I want to reset the run defense to 65 though. Maybe it takes a few plays, but I really wanted to actually show off the reaction that I was seeing. So let's reset it. Here. Cover. Counter. Let's run like 3 plays. Let's just do it without breaking it down. He looks, he gets caught, he gets blocked. We're running the guy down. Let's get a couple more snaps in. We're shifted. We're also crashing to that side. Yeah, guys are getting blocked up. I think I lowered the computer run blocking to something like 35. Or something like that. Because they're run blocking way too good here. I was getting better looking plays before. I spent a lot of time on this and I could have sworn the autosave went through. Run blocking, no. 20, 25, 20? 15 was too low. 15 was too low. One of the things that I'm looking at was the matchup here with this wide receiver and the corner. I think the corner had like 1 point higher or 1 point lower in block shedding than his run blocking, but like he's getting driven and cut down. And I had it set up in such a way where he could actually shed the blocks and everything. Solid, solid. Yeah, the reaction times are very harsh, but I was really happy with 60, 65 run defense. I was seeing like more like aggressive attacks. I think I know where I was seeing the aggressive attacks. I think I know now. I know you're patient with me. I was using this, which puts us in a better position, and then calling cover 1 and counter. Yeah, now like they're shutting everything down, like up close. Yeah, the alignment of the safety made a difference. We're shifting, then he sees, and he attacks downhill. Like, their pursuit is really, like, perfect. They're pursuing, like, 90-plus pursuit or whatever. So it's a variety of issues. It's the play recognition, it's the pursuit, it's a few different aspects. But I remember liking about 60 run defense. So let's go run defense 60. And then another thing I did was switch sides. No, not flip teams. Settings. Select sides. Oregon. Resume. Yeah, they're still tearing it up. So now we're resetting the play. Since we did all this, we're saying counter, we're saying this, and we're saying cover 1. Just press A. Yep. 20 run block, I think, was... Yeah, that's about it right here. We got that little matchup. That's one of the things we were looking at. This little matchup was supposed to be relatively even. He gets the block, he plays, he slips. Like, that was a thing. We get that block with 70 on Lawrence. Lawrence is not a great block shedder, but it's also, there's the leverage thing. He doesn't have to do much. He just has to pull off of the player. The run blocks are pretty solid across the board. And then, what if we user control? We still don't sprint. But we're just like, okay, we're just going to use our natural speed. Right? Like, guys are taking their time to get to us as we're getting out in the open. And that's part of the thing with the 61 pursuit, is this guy only has like 78 speed or whatever. He's at a leverage disadvantage, all of that. And he's chugging and chugging and chugging and chugging and chugging. And he gets there like last. Like, his lack of speed shows, and you can feel it. And now here, he has a leverage advantage. And then as the running back comes across, he's like right there. Right? I feel 61 player speed threshold is like spot on. And then we can actually follow the run blocks. And the pursuit by the computer was one of the issues. So the true play is to have this player kick out and then follow 55 through the hole. That's the true design of the play. It's 70 and 77 split, and then we start following 56 through the hole. And you can see we're finally getting caught by 10, but that's because we're not truly trying to outrun him to the sideline with the leverage. And here, he has 95 run defense. Like, we should maybe be 90, because he's not an NFL superstar. Maybe you have a 90 run defense, but he's get like perfect pursuit angle that doesn't get clogged up and all of this. all of this physical human traffic. Though you can argue a Division I starting safety should be able to just navigate the football field, right? DeMarcus Lawrence gets to us. We've got to get our kicks. Our blocks have got to get kicked properly. And we're picking up 4 or 5 yards. We're getting here. We're getting off the edge. We're picking that block up. We're getting out here. Like, we're getting chunk yardage, right, as a human. So, like, that's a big deal. We're not using sprint at all. We're getting blocks with 20 blocking. And we're getting, like, 10, 15 yards on the ground. Like, we're killing them. Right? And even with 95, like, they're biting on the play action, which they should. And he's also using his speed. But remember, he's like 78 speed. So he's just using his pursuit angle to finally kind of catch up in our angles. And he gets to us. Like, I think the run defense at 95 is pretty darn good. Right? One of the things that I was trying to test was the tackling with the computer. I think 65 tackling was alright because I was trying to put myself in a situation where I would get one-on-one with this poor tackler. That's what I was trying to do. And break a tackle like that. That's exactly the kind of thing that I wanted. And then I see Denny's got a new comment. It says, Steelers beat the Giants 26-18. Now I need to get to bed. Don't delete this one. Well, as if it doesn't crash and go horrible, that's the intent, is to not. You want to finish watching it in the morning. No, I appreciate it, Denny. Go to bed. Enjoy it. Enjoy the victory. All of that. But yeah, my game was literally freezing like multiple times. And I'm like, this isn't the quality of video that I want. But this is looking good and fun. So, yeah. Hopefully, if you're still up, if you're not, I don't understand it, or if you catch up and later watch it, the low tackler got the tackle broken automatically without me doing a user special move or anything, right? With 65 tackle. So that already tells me, like, there's a function, right? When there's a 10-point difference, like, we can see it. .48 catches up to us. Get the cut. Get in position. Get in position. Now, 4 takes us out. 4 has 82 tackle. He's better than us. Trying to, like, juke him out of his shoes a little bit there. Trying to, like, go north and south and then cut off. But he's like, nope, I gotcha. And then there's the human aspect. Like, we go here, and we go here, and we go here, and then we hit the sprint button. But there's a little bit of the fatigue, and we still get caught, but we pick up those little extra yards with the sprint. I want to try to get that regular run as designed and then sprint through that hole. That's the thing I'm trying to do as a human. Come on, let me go to the replay. Come on, let me go to the replay. That looked like it was going to be so good. Run behind 70 and 77. Try to get that block, but 48 got off the block. I wonder how much we can do. There's a block in the back against number 1, whatever. Would going 25 block be that much of a better thing? But then I also like the block shed here, like the leverage and release. I was trying, with that knockdown by the wide receiver, I thought we were just going to sprint to the corner there and get a touchdown. Love it. If anything, maybe we need to drop a point of human or computer tackling. Like 37 got us with a shoestring tackle. Wow, that's just how football is. That looks so much smoother than the Madden shoestring tackles. Number 1 has 67 tackling. Were we breaking that? I think he got us. We might go a little bit lower on computer tackling. User, computer, 65. I'm happy with the rest of the stuff. Human, run blocking, 25. Computer run blocking, 25. Human tackling, 45. Let's do again. Select sides. Play like that. Back off. Hit the play. Go here. Pick up. Go, 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 go. And there's our touchdown run. Hitting the sprint key. And that's a big reason between human control and just sprinting that can be pretty busted and nasty. The human change of direction, I know what I can get away with. And then hitting sprint to get out of there, it literally feels like super acceleration as they're diving at our feet and just aren't ready for it. The computer doesn't really use sprint. It feels like an arcade feature. So I don't like sprint in these video games. Okay, we're going to shift the line towards those tight ends and kick towards them. Now let's keep it normal, just like the computer did against us. Let's not control anyone important. Let's just use the safety who doesn't get bumped. And the game goes out there, and then pick up the blocks, and we chase them down. We might need a little point of tackling because he's a much better tackler. It's just one play, but we might need that one extra bit of tackling. We're at 45, though. Like, a missed tackle once in a while is one thing. If it's consistent, that's another issue. Cleanly wrapped up. Number 13 has 89 tackle. Like, outclassed by 12 points here. He's going to get there and clean it up. And again, the field is getting tighter and tighter. 13 is getting closer and closer, and we're not really running. Oregon is not running to the sideline, so 13 is going to get closer and closer and closer. And you basically have to get a point where you're like ahead of the pursuit angle to run past him. Right? You can see like closing the gap. Like they are 5 yards apart, 6 yards apart, north and south. Right? He's closing the gap. And we know if we just pull the trigger of sprint, we're going to outrun him. Right? So I really like a lot of that. I think I'm willing to try 55 run defense. And some things I was trying to look at here was this matchup. Block, 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 frozen on the blocks. Yeah, we should have a decent, interesting back and forth battle here. Let's look at that corner. And I believe this is number 1, Brian Douglas. And his block shedding is 64. Yeah, he's 64 block shedding. Versus the wide receiver, Richard here, has 61 run block versus 68 block shedding. Like, we should have the advantage. We shouldn't be getting owned in that matchup. Right? We should be 7 points better in that matchup. Which is why, like, we try 20 run blocking for the computer. 25, he's just dominating that matchup when he should be the one losing that matchup. It's just one indicator. If you get that working, then you start looking at other aspects. Okay, we're going to shift, and we're going to kick to that side too. And they're going to pull. They're going to go up the middle. Number one did get off of his block, and then we can also look at how it was picked up. See, here's the problem. Like, sometimes they get dumb. But I think when they're dumb, they're just always dumb. Like, 99 could be dumb. Right? Now here, they fight, and he gets off. Now, this is not like a fair matchup, like a true fair, because he just has, like, the leverage release. But it's another issue here. 13 doesn't need the most speed at middle linebacker. He just needs to be a solid tackler. You know, shift. Okay, it's a handoff and not like a play action. You're not going to overreact to it. And he still has enough awareness to get up and over in the pursuit angle to get in there and make the one-on-one tackle. I like it. Just barely running him down. Like, you can see that the video game, the AI doesn't use sprint. So as a human, let's not use sprint. He uses his little weird wacky movements. But there you are. And I kind of think it should be dropped to 15. We should have the advantage at the wide receiver blocking situation versus block shedding. And we also have advantages in other places as well. I think it was set to 15. I had it set so good, and there were so many good runs, and it was so beautiful. And then I saw the autosave. I could have sworn it spun autosave, but it might not have autosaved my sliders. It might just have saved like user settings of something else. I don't know. But let's try 15. We can always crank it up. If the run blocking isn't good, we can always crank it back up, right? I was trying to do this off camera before I came on earlier today. I had turned the Xbox off and then came back. Counter. Oh, you're moving? Okay, we'll move too. That's just some weak sauce tackling, like bouncing and falling off of each other. This is not a good judgment of the block. It's just a little pop. But we're still getting like a throwdown. Like, the tight end is winning this battle like he should. So even at 15, we're getting like the super wins that we should get. And remember, didn't he have, well, at least he had power moves. But I want to say he had decent block shedding too. Yeah, I want to say he should have decent block shedding. I thought we looked at that earlier. Right? Second safety, number 37, Ebo. 60 block shedding. 60 block shedding versus 78 run block. Okay. It's fine. Orochi! What's up, Orochi Alter? Poor Bears fans. Well, give me a report what happened, because I'm playing the video game. I'm not watching. I love watching football, but my Niners suck right now, and I haven't been watching everything. Yeah, 78 run block. Yeah. So versus, yeah, so that makes sense that he just got dominated. Okay. So 15 run block still respects those advantages. That just looked ugly as fuck. That was the first truly ugly play that we saw. I wonder what this kind of quality is. The strength matchup and the kick out. 70 is the right guard. And then we got, what is the impact block? And they're going up against number 48. Now, that's a linebacker, not the defensive lineman. That's not, 43 right here. So what's the impact block rating of their guard? What's their regular run block rating and everything? Does it really matter? I mean, really? We're either going to play with 15 or 20, right? We're either going to play with 15 or 20. Look at that. Solid running. Okay, you're going to kick. We're going to kick. They're going. And see, they're still locking us up at that wide receiver position. That's not the only thing that matters. And then it's like we've got the double team super win, which we're actually really happy with this. He puts the knee in the ground and occupies 2 blockers and frees up everyone else to come up and do their job. And I'm willing to try even 10. Computer here. Call new play. Reset the whole thing. Counter. Halfback counter. That was a nice battle right there. Fights up front. Oh, let's go. The 89 strength against this tackle. Boom, 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 boom. Let's look at that strength battle. Is that too weak? That's a tackle versus the guy that we know has 89 strength. Oregon. Left tackle. Let's go. We got the 2-point advantage and we drove him backwards. Let's go. I absolutely love it. We hit him and we drive him and we drive him, and that really messes up the play. And they're still fighting. I don't want it to be like 5 run block, but if we can, and we can get realistic battles out here. Look at him drive it backwards. Let's go. Is 5 too low? All right, Alter has a comment. So let's check it out. It says, let's just say man taunted as the Hail Mary play was going on. Then when he went back into the play, he tipped the ball up. Okay. I'll check out the highlights later. I always do. This 10 run blocking for the computer is looking like very interesting. No, not settings. Instant replay. Boom, boom. Getting driven backwards. What I don't like is it looks like their awareness is a little kind of dumb. The strength is working out really well here for them, where they definitely have the strength advantage. Okay. And the wide receiver did not dominate our guy. Okay, now we're going to do this, and we're going to pinch the middle and give our corner a chance to fight. Because right now he's getting off the block, which is what we want. They're still locked up, but it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. They're still picking up good yards. This is interesting. Wow, yeah, this is taking a lot of work. Now, this is not the ideal run defense. That's the other point. And then we've got comments. Said, what's going on, dude? What's going on, Glenn? Great to have you here. We're practicing. We're doing slider adjustments and everything. And we're looking at the computer run blocking. We're looking at human run defense. We're looking at minimum speed threshold. We've got the minimum speed threshold set to 61. And it's looking really good. It's not looking perfect, but it's looking quite good. And I'm willing to try even 0 run blocking from the computer just to try it out here. What is up with my stick? The right thumbstick is crazy, dog. I don't know. I don't want to go to 0. I don't want to go to... It's Heisman 0, but I don't want to go to 0. We're going to go to 0. We're going to try it. We can always dial it back up. Right? Let's go to quit practice and then reload practice. Let's get this all saved up. Maybe reloading practice, we're going to get a much different experience. It said, first time in, you showed up on my recommended. I hope so. Like, I'm just really glad to have people come by and drop messages. So, we're playing ball. We're trying to get simulation-style football. That's the point of this channel. We're trying to teach football, and we're trying to play sim ball. And I don't really play 2K. I don't play NCAA 14 very much. So it's been out for many years, but I've got my modified Aurora Xbox. You can see here it says Aurora Home. And I was able to download it, and we're having a good time with it. And instead of trusting everyone else's sliders, we're making our own. There's a set of base sliders that we worked with, and from there, we're developing our own. Okay, so let's try to get in here. And I suggest rewinding to the beginning of the video and checking out everything you missed in the meantime. Live is always great, but there's a lot of background and established information previously and interaction. So if you want the full experience, that's what I recommend, bro. But even having you live either way, super welcome. So yeah, the current matchup is having both teams, user and human, and getting similar results is what our goal is. Something fair. So, by formation. Over. No. We're going to work under. We were working under. And cover 1. And by play type, encounter, encounter. Got it. The counter, the blocks, the movement. There should be 0 blocking. And they're still locking us up at this wide receiver position. So, those just joining us, in this case with Glenn, he has 61 run blocking, and the corner has 68 block shedding. I would like to see the corner getting off blocks here. And he's just getting dominated. And that's what sucks, is like, you're at a 7-point disadvantage and you're winning this every time. Not just once in a while. They're winning every time. So that makes me think, do we have to increase the human run defense? And then that'll also impact the quality of their blocking. So run defense back up to 60 now. Because we're already at 0 blocking. We can't go any more negative for their blocking. So we've got to increase our run defense slider. And maybe we have to increase their run blocking as we do that. I see a comment. Not going to ignore it. We're going to let this play run. And now we're going to check it. Remember, I'm on a 20 to 30 second delay with you. You said, dropped a subscribe for you. Super appreciated. It's bedtime. I'll catch you live next time around. That's so great, Glenn. And if you're still here while I'm commenting, please check out the other live videos and catch up, because we've got a lot of content out there of Madden 14, and we've even got a game here of Boise State versus Oregon where we were doing slider testing that was very successful. I've also got a lot of shorts that you might enjoy that give you like the spoilers of the good games. I hope there's a lot of stuff that you enjoy on this channel, and I look forward to seeing you, Glenn. I interact with my community as much as possible. Have yourself a great night, and I'm just so glad to have you here. All right, so they move across the formation. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we're getting it. That's really good. That doesn't solve the blocking situation, but I really like how we have that 1-point strength advantage, no, 2-point strength advantage. We make contact, we drive backwards. I don't like the fact that they don't know how to block. I'll take improving their blocking at the cost of this. I'll say settings. I'll say this. Computer. I will play like that. I'll play like that. And human run defense at 65. I'm willing to bet that increasing the human run defense, but also increasing their blocking, will be a lot more interesting overall. Because I want to say this is where I had it when I was happy with it. Yeah, those are some good blocks, some good kickouts. Okay, you want to shift over? We'll shift over as well. Okay, I am going to reduce this run blocking because this same advantage, where our strength advantage was better, now we're losing the strength advantage. Remember? So that does need to change. I don't remember if it was 10 that was good enough or if it was 5. But we had it where we were actually getting the push when we had the strength advantage, which is one of the things that we wanted. So I'm not going to control him, but we're just highlighting him. Yep, 10 is good enough. 10 looks like the right number. Not like totally dumb, but we're respecting the strength rating a lot better. Yeah, these other guys with their strength ratings advantage, they're getting a push on us, while we have the strength advantage from 15 down to 10. Now our strength advantage is showing off. They're still able to come across, make hits. They're able to make blocks, wall off players. Interesting things are able to happen. I like it. I know this isn't the perfect run defense, but the point is still there. And as they pick up blocks, I wonder if we can increase. I know we can increase, but I wonder if increasing run defense takes us to a whole new layer. Now we're driving him back hard. 1, 2 big drops. Really in the backfield. Maybe we can go back up to 15 run blocking since we increased run defense so much. Right? That's a thing I'm thinking about. The angle is why it's just a pop. They're kind of connected, I think. Thumbstick, what's the deal? With 80 run defense, will 15 still get driven off the ball as hard as that was? Watch that left tackle matchup. Yeah, see, now we're driving the ball. There's a balance here to be struck. There is a balance to be struck. Will 25 still have him be driven backwards? Because we went from 60 to 80. Why don't we match with 10 points on their end as well? It was 20 points we went up, so then they need 35 or whatever, but will 20 still get driven backwards? Yep, it still gets driven backwards, which is good. So yeah, we went from 10 versus 60, a 50-point difference. So they should be able to have like 30 run block, in theory. A 50-point difference. Okay, that's for us. That's wrong. And then Bobby says, yo, what's up, Bobby? I do not have like live chat instantaneous setup. So if you're still here, Bobby, it's good to say hello. That's a stone wall with a little bit of push. This is actually a decent interaction here. And I might want to see a little bit better tackle rating here. This might be our best interaction yet. 77 and him fight. And we're actually getting a push backwards instead of us getting pushed backwards. This might be the best battle yet because they're so even. 89 versus 87. That's what's up. That's actually a battle that I'm much more interested in. And this dude still outranks the safety and just drops the dude. Remember, like 67 block shedding versus like 73 or 78. No, like 77, 78, whatever it was. Like, yeah, that's what's up. And the impact blocking on that dude. I don't like this broken tackle. But once in a while is like understandable. See, he makes the tackle there. Too much on the drives. I don't like being driven when I have the advantage. 2 plays in a row, we were being driven. I want to see how the overall pursuit, the linebackers, everything else was. Yeah, I don't like the fact that they're playing like a little too talented in pursuit angles. Right? That's the other issue. I think I really was enjoying 65. Getting closer to 20. I'm not going to user control him, but we're just going to see how it looks. He's getting the push. I didn't do anything there. It just happened. Yeah, we're getting the push, the fights, all of that. So I think we're at a stage here where now we can talk more like bullets double A, counter, flip the play, shift, do this, and suddenly now we're playing like this. We want to see the tackle one click higher. I've seen enough missed tackles here. Just the default 50, right? Yeah, that 45 couldn't get that tackle. When 45 has 82 tackle, he should have the advantage. And the safety should have the advantage as well. Yeah, that's better. That's a lot better. I'm not calling it perfect, but let's back out and make sure that it saves. So we're not doing this for a third time. I'm not saying we're done, but we're in a much more comfortable area. Autosave in progress. That's what gets me. Run blocking 25, autosave in progress. Oh well. Okay, where I left off last time, I was noting down play now. I was noting down plays from the playbooks. So, let's go Oregon State. Can we get like a random letter that's close to the letter B? Yeah. Yep. Okay. For everyone watching, anyone watching back, we've made notes about cover 0 from 425 normal, over and under. Cover 1 only has one look. There are no special plays of cover 1. And we were looking at cover 2. And we wrote down everything from the 425 normal. And we tested out plays from the 15-yard line going in. And I did not like Crash 2 very much. It just did nothing for me. So I liked cover 2 hard and roll 2 dog from this formation. I liked rover 2 dog, not roll, rover 2 dog. Okay. From the over front, looking for cover 2 plays to put in the copybook, I'm going to write over. I'm going to put a bullet point first, and we have again 2-man. So 2-man. After 2-man, we have cover 2. And I put that as an asterisk because that's a 15 yards and end defensive play. I also am going to call that hard, which is the term they use in 2K8. There is zone blitz, which we're probably going to trash. But let's mark it down. Zone blitz. Then we have wide 2 dog. Another asterisk, because this looks like a red zone kind of defense. Wide 2 dog. Another cover 2. Dog zone blitz is 3 3 3s. 0, 3, 0, crash 2. Let's make our asterisk. Crash 2. And that's everything from that list. We can test those plays from that list, but let's also go to the under look. So right under. Under. All right, there's again the 2-man. So a bullet point, 2-man. They have cover 2 asterisk. Cover 2 in my copybook. There's crash 2. After cover 2, I'm going to put again the parentheses bracket hard. And this crash 2 is not a cover 2 sinks. Say crash 2. Don't have a lot of faith in that. It looks like just a 3x2 balanced rush. Zone blitz. Okay, max zone, no, 2-man. Okay, so that's from the 3 normal formations. Let's look at it. First is over zone blitz. Dog zone blitz? No. Oh, it's just on the first page. It's on the second page. So first you can play this against a regular situation. By formation. Like that. Yeah, any old play will work. So with any old play, I don't see any old reason to run this variation. I was user controlling a player I didn't mean to. They don't slide to pick it up, at least that I noticed. I saw a free offensive lineman, but who was he? It's just the guard that then kicks out, so I'm fine with that. The coverages are kind of okay. He's bailing and then just allowing that to happen. It's fine. It just looks boring and doesn't really do anything. And I don't think it's going to do anything in a compressed situation. So I'm going to draw a line through it. Just because it's there doesn't mean I want it. And then let's also look at over. Let's look at crash 2. Let's again look at the HB swing. No. Strategy, practice options. Respot. Ball here. Kind of gotta love it. They did our best to pick stuff up. And last time we saw Crash 2, we killed that play. And it looks like we're going to do the same as well here. If you must have talent to get the blitz, then it's not a good blitz. If you just need the talent to do it, I might as well call a cover 2 man under and just let my guys get there as it is. So we got wide 2 dog that we want to look at from over. Wide 0 and wide 2 dog. I think we want to be on the other hash mark, but we can still try this hash mark. Pretty solid. And wow, we can't tackle all of a sudden? We all of the sudden can't tackle. We were tackling really well in regular runs. He splits both. Do they knock each other out? No, he just runs with his head down, so it automatically counts it. I think we need one more tackle rating. I don't know what's up with that. Sometimes you got the college football aspect, and then you've also got the, well, seriously, what was that? You know? I don't know what that was. Again, we're looking at wide 2. Wide 2 dog. This was in over. That's why I couldn't find it. Yeah, he's making the quarterback panic. Throwing a check down, getting a hit. There we go. I love it. He misses the pass block completely. I think it works just fine. Now we've got to try under. Under had the regular 2, had crash 2 and zone blitz. Did it have anything else? No, it didn't. So zone blitz. And halfback swing. Solid football play. Solid football play. Literally covers here. Cares about the different routes. This gets wide open for the touchdown that he misses. How's the pressure? The pressure is trying to drop both defensive ends off. Replace with a corner blitz and then a weird safety loop-de-loop blitz, which draws the attention of the tackle in a weird way. So I'm totally okay with cutting that. I'll draw a line through it. This was zone blitz under with the under play. The other needs to be crash 2. In under. It says crash 2. There it is. Swing out. We're ready to hit. We're playing team defense. I think we need to increase tackling. What's the deal with the broken tackles? I think I know the difference or what's going on. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm away from the microphone. I pulled it back. Why is he crushing us on this broken tackle business? We were wanting to try crash 2. Where were we? We're in under. It's on the left-hand side. That's what throws me off. That's a quick pressure. But that doesn't really matter until we get everything else situated. Let's go with the twist. Well, we were willing to try that one in an actual game. So, let's back it off. Let's do exclamation points. Okay. And that's cover 2 stuff. I'm getting super tired and yawning. I think I just want to end this. Go to bed and come back to look at cover 3, cover 4. Because we have classic cover 3, crash 3, cover 4, max zone, eagle, strong safety, eagle zone, basically smoke zone. There's like several other plays here. But we've made a lot of notes. We've had a lot of conversations. And I can worry about cover 3, cover 4 next time. Yeah. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like a lot of fun. I'm absolutely exhausted. I got to see Paul McCartney last night, Sunday night. The Get Back Tour, live in Lima at Estadio Nacional. Great show. Didn't get back until 2 in the morning. Had to wake up at like 6 something in the morning after 4 hours of sleep and taught classes all day. And other things happened in my private life that I don't want to get into that made me cry. Had to euthanize my pet rabbit, and I wanted to get online here with you guys and forget all about that. And if anyone made it this far into the video, much love to you, and thank you for being here. But I'm willing to bet most of the viewers will never get this far. And I'm super tired, and I love y'all. Like, that platonic love y'all. Thank you so much for just being here. And